There's a silent crisis affecting millions of men around the world, one that almost no one talks about enough. And the consequences of this silence are quietly deteriorating the quality of life of countless fathers, grandfathers, brothers, and husbands. Hello, I'm Dr. Melani Rubio, and as a medical professional with over 10 years of experience in neurology, I've had the privilege and responsibility of treating thousands of men who face the challenges of aging. But there's a particular conversation I believe every man over 60 needs to have, not in whispers, not behind closed doors, and definitely not when it's already too late. It's a conversation about your prostate, and more importantly, about the simple, natural daily habits that could protect, restore, and potentially save your prostate health. These aren't cheap tricks. What I'm about to share with you is real science backed by evidence, credible and applicable strategies that researchers and doctors around the world are using to help men age with fewer discomforts, fewer complications, and much more freedom. If you're over 60, or if someone close to your heart is, I ask you to stay with me. These 5 daily habits may seem modest, but their combined impact can be revolutionary. In fact, one of them might surprise you completely, so stick with me until the end if you care about your prostate and sexual health, because this could be the best video you watch this year. To appreciate why these habits are so essential, you first need to understand the nature of the prostate itself. The prostate gland is small, approximately the size of a walnut, and sits just below the bladder, surrounding the urethra, the tube through which urine exits the body. It plays a fundamental role in male reproductive health by producing seminal fluid that nourishes and transports sperm. Until around age 50, most men barely notice the prostate exists, but beginning in the 6th decade of life, this small gland starts to change, and not for the better. The medical term for this age-related growth is benign prostatic hyperplasia, or BPH. While it's not cancer, it can feel very invasive. According to the National Institutes of Health, more than 50% of men in their 50s already show signs of prostate enlargement, and by age 70, that figure exceeds 80%. How does this manifest in daily life? For many, it begins subtly, a weaker stream, a constant feeling that the bladder doesn't empty completely, difficulty starting urination, or worse yet, frequent trips to the bathroom during the night that disrupt sleep and drain energy. Most men assume this is simply part of aging, but that's a dangerous myth. New scientific research shows that inflammation and prostate enlargement can be significantly influenced and even improved through daily habits that regulate inflammation, hormones, and blood flow. Let's start with the first habit, something that's hiding in plain sight. How, when, and what you drink matters tremendously. Proper hydration isn't just good for overall health. It plays a direct role in reducing prostate inflammation and improving urinary function. As men age, their sensation of thirst diminishes. It's common for older adults to go several hours without drinking, hydrating only when dehydration has already begun. The result is excessively concentrated and acidic urine, loaded with waste products that irritate the bladder and aggravate prostate tissue. This poor hydration pattern contributes to one of the most frustrating symptoms of BPH, nocturia, that need to urinate several times during the night. But here's where research-guided solutions give us an answer. A study published in the Journal of Urology, involving more than 2,000 men aged 60 or older, showed that well-distributed hydration early in the day, combined with reduced fluid intake at night, led to a 41% reduction in nighttime urinary urgency and frequency. What do I recommend? Hydrate as if it were a medical prescription. Drink water consistently from morning until mid-afternoon. Aim for 6 to 8 glasses of water depending on your activity level and kidney health. Then gradually reduce in the evening to allow your bladder to rest during the night. This small routine-based adjustment reduces irritation, gently eliminates toxins, and supports normal prostate function without stressing the body. Now let's talk about nutrition, because the daily decisions on your plate become powerful medicine. The foods you eat impact everything from hormonal regulation to inflammation, and yes, even your risk of prostate cancer. Let's start with one of the most potent compounds studied in current prostate research, lycopene, a phytonutrient found in tomatoes, guava, and watermelon. When tomatoes are cooked, particularly with olive oil, lycopene becomes more bioavailable. Men who consumed cooked tomatoes at least twice a week, according to a meta-analysis published by the International Journal of Cancer, had a 28% lower risk of developing prostate malignancies. Then there's zinc, an essential mineral concentrated in pumpkin seeds, seafood, and nuts. Zinc supports healthy testosterone balance, enzymatic reactions, and the structural stability of the prostate. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, kale, and Brussels sprouts offer another layer of protection. These contain sulforaphane, a compound known to influence detoxification pathways and prevent DNA mutations and cellular damage that could lead to prostate cancer. The ideal plate is predominantly plant-based, rich in colors, and fueled with lean proteins, whole seeds, healthy fats, and antioxidant-rich products. In this context, food becomes proactive care, an affordable yet powerful way to support prostate resilience. I'd like to know where you're watching from. Write in the comments your city or country so I can greet you personally in our next videos. As this channel grows thanks to men like you who seek reliable information about their health. Another underestimated and completely free strategy is walking. That's right, a light 15-minute walk after meals, especially after lunch and dinner, can significantly influence prostate health in multiple ways. Research from the University of São Paulo School of Medicine found that older men who participated in post-meal movement had up to a 35% lower risk of developing moderate to severe BPH symptoms compared to those who remain sedentary. But what's happening physiologically? Walking after meals activates blood flow in the pelvic region, improving oxygenation and nutrient supply to the prostate gland. It also helps regulate blood glucose, which is key since insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes are directly associated with prostate problems. Light physical activity also reduces systemic inflammatory markers, including C-reactive protein and interleukin-6, both elevated in chronic prostate inflammation. Think of walking as post-meal medicine. You don't need a gym, don't need to run. Just walk gently indoors or outdoors with consistency. Over time, this small, lifelong investment produces extraordinary protective effects for your prostate and your entire body. We finish with what might be the most underestimated habit of all, restorative sleep. Chronic sleep deprivation has a biological cost much deeper than most realize. Quality sleep governs our production of essential hormones like melatonin and growth hormone, both with documented anti-inflammatory properties and playing critical roles in tissue repair and immune regulation. In fact, a study from the Journal of Cancer Epidemiology, Biomarkers and Prevention, found that men who suffered from frequent sleep disturbances had twice the risk of developing advanced prostate cancer compared to those with uninterrupted sleep. Sleep impacts testosterone levels, inflammation, mental clarity, and metabolic balance, all central to prostate health. To optimize sleep, aim for 7 to 9 hours per night in a dark, cool, and quiet room. Avoid caffeine late in the day, reduce screen exposure at night, and maintain a consistent bedtime even on weekends. It's not indulgence, it's essential regenerative medicine for the aging body. Now, I want to ask you something important to create better content. What is the sensation of incomplete bladder emptying? Your answer helps us understand which topics are most important for our audience. Now let's talk about a habit that's been buried under years of stigma and shame: sexual activity in advanced age. From a purely medical perspective, maintaining regular ejaculation is not only healthy, it could be one of the body's most effective natural methods for clearing waste from the prostate. A landmark study from 2016 published in European Urology by Harvard researchers followed more than 30,000 men for 18 years. They discovered a fascinating correlation. Men who ejaculated 21 or more times per month had a 33% lower risk of developing prostate cancer compared to those with fewer monthly occurrences. Biologically, ejaculation helps the prostate expel residual fluids, dead cells, and inflammatory proteins, substances that, when allowed to accumulate, can contribute to congestion and irritation. Beyond the cleansing effect, sexual activity also improves pelvic circulation, reduces tension in the muscles surrounding the prostate, enhances hormonal balance, and reduces cortisol and stress levels, which are known to contribute to chronic inflammation. And yet many older men feel embarrassed or guilty discussing this topic, even with their doctor. Let me be clear, you're never too old to prioritize your sexual health. If you have concerns, whether physical, emotional, or relational, speak openly with a physician. Your urologist is there to help, not to judge. These 5 habits, strategic hydration, targeted nutrition, walking after meals, restorative sleep, and regular sexual activity, may seem simple, but in simplicity lies power. You don't have to wait for symptoms to appear to take control of your health. You can take the initiative today. In my clinical experience, the men who live longest and age most gracefully, those who remain mobile, confident, and independent well into their 70s and 80s, are those who act preventively. They don't wait for a crisis to make changes. Now you have the same opportunity. Share this knowledge with the men you love, and if you're over 60, start practicing these habits today. Your future self and your prostate will thank you. Taking care of your health doesn't have to start with pills, procedures, or panic. Sometimes the most powerful medicine is found in the small decisions you make every day. I've witnessed firsthand how these 5 simple habits, when practiced consistently, can redefine the aging process for men. They not only protect the prostate, they also improve energy, enhance sleep, reduce stress, and restore confidence. If you're a man over 60, let this be a turning point. And if you're someone who loves a man at that stage of life, a father, a husband, a grandfather, encourage him. These conversations matter more than we realize, because what we ignore today, we might regret tomorrow. But what we choose to act on today could preserve freedom, mental sharpness, and quality of life for years to come. Thank you for spending this time with me. If you found this message valuable, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. Give this video a like, so the algorithm helps us reach more men who need this vital information. Subscribe to our channel and activate the notification bell to receive alerts when we upload new content about men's health. Remember, prostate health isn't just about longevity. It's about living well. Stay informed, stay proactive, and above all, stay healthy. Until next time, I'm Dr. Melani Rubio, reminding you that your best years are still ahead if you take care of them today.